Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Visual Communication in the Media. My name is Adam Rozeski. It's a pleasure to see each and every one of you today. I'm so excited to have you all here today. We're about to get to the second half of this course and really get into the meat of this course and really start getting into some more detailed elements with technical responses, emotional responses, and also with ethical responses where something can like play with your morals and how they work with specifically on how you judge and decide things overall. So last couple weeks we've talked about perceptual responses, we've talked about sensory responses. This week we're going to focus a lot on emotional and technical responses. And really we're going to start with emotional responses and how persuasive communication is used to really trigger emotions and trigger responses specifically with this. So this week we're really going to focus on that and really get into it. So all in all, we also have a lot of good stuff. We also have our discussion this week. Do keep in mind that your discussion is due on Tuesday for your initial post. And we also have our course project. It's a lot for this course project, but don't worry. I'm going to walk you through it step by step during the lecture on Tuesday night. So definitely take a look at the lecture for sure. And especially toward the end when I go over each individual element of it, so you know what to look for. I'm also going to send you examples as well of what specifically is a good example of how to complete that project specifically. So please use the examples. Please use everything that I'm going to give you through this week. It's really going to help you out with your course projects and your assignments. So don't worry. We'll get through this together piece by piece, and that way everything works out perfectly. But yeah, this week we're going to talk about persuasive communication and how that ties into emotional responses, and also we're going to talk about technical responses as well. But let's start with this first technique of emotional responses and how persuasive imagery can be used to trigger emotional responses and how that can tie in with cultures a little bit. That's what we're going to be doing. So yeah, so the goal of persuasion is to convince or deter someone or some group to a certain choice, right? And by giving persuasive communication, the whole goal is to really convince somebody that you want them to do something, focus on something, support, deny, whatever the goal is of that. The whole main aspect is to persuade somebody to really get through this and really make everything better. And people use persuasive techniques in a lot of different professions, and we tend to see a lot more now than probably we do in the past. And definitely with social media and with technology and how instant communication is currently, we tend to see this a lot with a lot of different professions. For example, politicians, businesses, doctors, lawyers, teachers, pretty much anyone that needs to accomplish a goal and needs to convince others to accomplish that goal have to use persuasive techniques. And this can be done through a lot of different methods, through audio methods, visual, different types of coercion techniques. There's so many different ways to go about this, but we're going to look more specifically at visual techniques and how they apply to persuasive communication, and especially with cultures. Now, a lot of times with cultures, we tend to see when an image is meant to persuade somebody, we tend to see images that focus on two different demographics. And these cultures can be split up into two main concepts, age and activity. And when we see a lot of times with advertisements, we tend to notice that they focus on these two major elements. Mainly on what the person is doing and how old that person is specifically. Location may get involved in it a little bit, but more than likely it's mostly focused on these two elements. And let's take a look by just taking a look at the two advertisements right here. So the first one is definitely focusing on an elderly couple that's very happy. Note the colors of this advertisement are blue and greens, very relaxing colors with white font. And note how the font is very relaxing with like some curvatures and free-flowing fun. And let's take a look at the words. Time to relax, time to enjoy yourself, time to visit the places you want. And that pretty much says right there, it's a vacation trip. It's seniors trying to go out and visit the last few things that they can in their life and check out some things as they go about. And it's their time to go and do something for themselves specifically. So that's what this is trying to tell you right off the bat. It's trying to tell you that seniors, it's definitely focused on an elderly demographic that wants to go out, that's retired and wants to go check out places and go do things. That's what this is focused on right here. And it focuses on the age of the elderly demographic, and then also focuses on the activity of just going out and just enjoying the world, enjoying places. Now, for the second activity in age, Obviously focuses on younger people. I think this may be focused more on men because of how the guy is positioned in the middle around all these girls, and it's really got some bold colors to it, some black and golds, and very powerful tones to it, along with the themes. And obviously, it says, "Are we having Bud Light yet?" Replacing the Bud Light for the word "fun." And so it's definitely the activities just going out and socializing and having fun with drinks. That's definitely the activity with a younger group of people. So you can definitely see how Bud Light is trying to showcase that they're very confident. They're here to have fun. The bottle is up in the front right off the bat, trying to post what they're trying to say. And it's definitely focused toward a younger audience, but going out and having fun and just enjoying the social life of just maybe having a couple drinks and everything and just meeting people at clubs or bars. That's the type of activity and age that they're focusing on for Bud Light. That's really the deal. So yeah, those are two different advertisements that focus on age and activity specifically. And we'll go over this a little bit more in detail with your lecture on Tuesday, so do keep that in mind. But yeah, so that's just a little bit heads up of what we're going to be getting into this week. We're also going to be talking about your course project. Now, note, do keep in mind that this course project, just for an overview, is we're going to be creating a thesis. And thesis is technically describing a 1 to 2 sentence phrase that pretty much explains the purpose of why you're analyzing this website. And we're going to be analyzing, and that's a thesis, but through that thesis, we're going to be creating a document about 6 pages long, not including your reference page and your cover page. So 8 total really is the minimum I'm going to be looking for. Is we're going to be analyzing a website. And I'm not talking about just the main page of a website, but you're going to be analyzing every single page in that website. And we're going to be trying to analyze what visuals are used in that website to trigger sensory responses, perceptual responses, technical responses, emotional responses, and ethical responses. It's going to be a hefty paper, but for the first week, we're going to do an outline just to kind of build out the main topic sentences of your paper and to structure your paper. And then what you're going to do is with that outline, you're going to fill in the rest of that document from that outline. And that's how we're going to build it out specifically. So that's what we're going to focus on. So for this week, it's just going to be the outline. And then next week, we're going to finish the rest of the paper. And don't worry, we'll go over it through lecture. And I'll show you how to go through it piece by piece and what I'm looking for specifically with this assignment. So that way you don't feel like you're missing something overall. So that way everything's good to go. All right, and we'll talk about that a little bit more on Tuesday for normal time, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Cool. Other than that, that's all I got, my friends. Be safe, have fun. Do keep in mind you have your discussions, your initial post due on Tuesday. And then we'll also have lecture as well Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. But that's pretty much it. Just keep an eye out for my announcements. The rubrics are already posted along with the lecture link as well. So it should be there for you. And that's pretty much it. So be safe, have fun, my friends. Enjoy. And I'll see everybody for lecture on Tuesday. Have a great one.